I've had a few commenters ask me for book recommendations. Now, most of the books on these shelves behind me were written by men. It's honestly a total sausage fest back here. However, there are a few female writers that I think you should know about, and they are who I'm going to talk about today. Just a quick note, I am Public Scott on Goodreads. I've been sharing reviews on that site for more than 10 years, so you can go over there and explore them at your leisure. Go ahead and follow, or just hit a like on a few of my reviews. It always gives me a sweet hit of dopamine. First up is Naomi Klein. I referred to her work a lot during my series on Reaganomics, especially in the posts where I talked about Milton Friedman. Her book, Shock Doctrine, shook me up. Here's what I said in my original 5-star review. An incredible read. Klein's reporting and description of how neoliberalism has been implemented, most often forcibly, and how its adherents take maximum advantage of terrible circumstances was completely convincing. My only problem was how repetitive the template of disaster capitalism became over the course of the book. Of course, that's not the author's fault. It's the fault of the disaster capitalists. I feel like I understand how the world works a little better after reading this work. Phenomenal. Next, I want everyone to read this amazing book by Astra Taylor called Democracy May Not Exist, but We'll Miss It When It's Gone. This book is so fantastic. I absolutely loved it. I went through and highlighted so much because I wanted to be able to remember all this great stuff. What I appreciated most was Taylor's ability to go big picture. She looks at democracy from the beginning, ancient Athens to now. She is so smart and insightful. Taylor also cites this banger of a quote from Bertolt Brecht, which I will read for you now. Those who lead the country into abyss call ruling too difficult for ordinary men. I love that quote, and I think it's spot on. Frances Fox Piven wrote most of her best books with her husband, Richard Cloward, but unlike Milton Friedman, who also wrote with his wife, Piven usually takes top billing. However, her material can be a little difficult to wade through. Here's what I wrote after reading her book, Poor People's Movements. I found this book a little like eating a plate full of spinach every day for lunch. You know it's good for you, but that sure doesn't make you look forward to reading it. That said, there is a lot of good information here. I kind of had to check some of my assumptions about how movements accomplish their goals. Overall, I learned a lot. Finally, kind of an obvious one, but there's a reason for that. Joan Didion was a national treasure. I found this book, Political Fictions, and was just blown away. Her analysis here is as solid as anything Noam Chomsky wrote. Also, Slouching Towards Bethlehem was brilliance upon brilliance. Here's what I wrote after reading that one. Didion encapsulates the zeitgeist with such flair. The titular essay is a very amusing trip through San Francisco at the height of Haight-Ashbury, hippy-dippy flower power craziness. Didion's writing is brilliant and beautiful. I loved the way she pierced the conventional pretentiousness around films, and her takedown of Stanley Kubrick in particular, who I love, was funny as hell. Her episodic writing style is masterful. I loved this book. I need to find more of Didion's work. She is amazing. I stand by that. 5 stars all the way. Thank you to the women who wrote these fantastic books. You should really check out everything they have written. My life is better for reading what I did. Let's stop there for now. Lots more where these came from. Don't forget to like, follow, favorite, and subscribe to my free Substack. Let's make them pay.